Okay, I am a little disappointed that the MTV Movie Awards or Movie and TV Awards didn't nominate Alita Battle Angel for anything under any category, and there's a number of things in here that Alita could have gotten nominated for. They have movies that came out this month, like or last month, like what do you call it? Infinity War, right? That's kind of recent, but somehow that still made their list. So why couldn't Alita make it? That's kind of weird. And, and at some point, you're just like, how, like, what exactly do people have against this movie? It just seems like they just wanted to die. They just want to bury it and make it go away. And it's just ridiculous. So let me just go through a couple of these categories to show you. Just some places where Alita should have at least been nominated. So under best movie, I understand. There's an argument to make that there are a lot better movies on the list. Personally, I wouldn't rank any of these movies above Alita though. Not Endgame. I haven't given my opinions on Endgame yet on this channel. I did on Twitter once. I guess I'll do that right now. I saw Endgame a couple weeks ago, the first weekend actually. Um, I wanted to see Alita for the last time before that, but the weather was crappy, and I ended up not being able to get out early enough to go see Alita for the last time. But that just goes to show you that I thought more about Alita than I did about Avengers. The first 2 hours of Avengers, I was honestly like, when is this movie going to actually get good? And the last hour was basically what made the movie. Um, it was good, but really only good because of what. I mean, it had its moments. Some moments were worth it, but for the most part, it just feels like a movie that wasn't really as good um, as people are going to say it is, because it carries all of this baggage that of the movies that came before it. Avengers Endgame does not stand on its own. I forgot to mute my notifications. It doesn't stand on its own. It needs the 21 or 22 movies that came before it in order for it to really have its impact. So while it's a good movie, it is not so good when you just keep it as a standalone and take everything else out of it. Yes, those first 2 hours were really, they were trying my patience. Um, I never felt like that during when I was watching the leader. I was just hooked the whole way through, just moment to moment, like what's happening now? What's happening now? I want to see what's happening next. And never was tempted to look at my watch, but in game, I was really just, man, not impressed. But anyway, moving on. So I guess what else? Best performance in the movie? I think definitely Rosa Salazar should have a mention here because she sold this movie as a leader. Without her, I really don't know if they could have got anybody else to really play that part. You could tell that Rosa really, I don't know, maybe that's just her personality, or maybe that's just her acting. I don't know what it is, but she is really vibrant and um, emotive, and you just feel everything that she is trying to get across. You really feel it, and that is I don't, like I said, it could just be due. Maybe it could just be due to her being a new actor and she's just really hungry. Not new actor. She's not that new, but she's not really well known yet. So maybe she's hungry and maybe she's getting after it. But she really sells that movie, and she doesn't even get a nomination here for best actress. And so there's another category here that she should have been mentioned as also um, best best hero. You could argue that Alita is not a hero, She's not a superhero, but she's a hero in a way because a hero, really, just the definition of a hero is just a person with great power who does great things. A hero doesn't even necessarily, if you look at mythology, they don't even necessarily have to be a good person. They just have to be a person with power, a great power, and who does great things, like Hercules or Perseus. Those are heroes. So they have this dude from Black Klansman as a hero, though. So if he can be a hero, I haven't even seen Klansman, but um, I'm pretty sure that wasn't a movie where you have a guy fighting bad guys and stuff like that. But I don't know. He's listed as a hero, so um, why could and what's her name? Macy Williams, who plays Arya Stark, she's listed as a hero. Surely Alita could be listed as a hero too. So you have Brie Larson there, Carol Danvers. Um, is there any other movie that came out? No, that was Endgame, and I mean Infinity War. But yeah, so they do have at least Robert Downey Jr., who, and Shazam got to mention as well. Zachary Levi from Shazam, so that's great. Those two, I think, were. I haven't seen Shazam yet. I really want to, but I've heard really good things about it. So those two, okay, I get it. I saw it in game, like I just said, and yes, I get it. Robert Downey Jr. does deserve a mention, especially since he was in Infinity War. He did well in Infinity War, and he did well in game. So he's pretty much a shoe in to take that one. Zachary Levi should be a runner up, and but the thing is, Alita's not even mentioned at all for some reason. Best kiss. People on Twitter know that one of my favorite parts of the movie is the kiss scene with Alita and Hugo on the bridge. And I don't even know if I could really describe like what exactly that scene makes me feel, because I'm really relating to Alita in this situation here, because Alita is a person who is falling in love, but she's conscious of her difference from the person that she's in love with. And in her mind, she's worried this whole time. Can this person accept me for who I am and for what I am? She's a human being, a cyborg. Um, she has a human brain, so she's a human being trapped in a prosthetic body, and she knows there are that this person that she loves might possibly be happier with a girl who has a totally, completely normal human body. But anyway, so that's on her mind. And so you see that on her face, and when she asks him, "Does it bother you that I'm not completely human?" And it's true what Hugo says, that she's the most human person he's ever met, because the city has turned these people who live in it into it has dehumanized them. They've lost their compassion. They've lost there's a lot of people who we call NPCs right now. Um, they've become less than human, because they a lot of times they don't think for themselves. They don't actually um, think outside of what they've been told. They don't ask questions, and they only have, I guess, what you would say is prepackaged responses to certain things, so that when you actually challenge them to think outside of a box, then their only response is to get angry. So that's what we would call an NPC now, a non-player character. And there are a lot of those running around who Alita is actually more human than. So I completely understand what Hugo means when he says that Alita is the most human person that he's ever met. But anyway, that kiss scene on the bridge should have been nominated. Should have been. It's a shame that it wasn't. So there's also breakthrough performance. I think this category is probably referring to new or um, up and coming actress or actors, actresses. And once again, Rosa Salazar should have been on this list. I'm not. I don't know why. She's a. That's another thing. She's Latina. You would think these people say they care so much about diversity and everything that they would promote her and try to uh, get her a nomination, but she doesn't get anything. It's weird. Best fight. There were a number of fights, and Alita Battle Angel that I would put against any of these fights. Um, Captain America versus Thanos. That was a good fight, but it to me, in my opinion, it doesn't compare to Alita's fight versus Gruishka Underground, and also Alita's motorball fight where she fights like eight, eight or nine, and eight or nine other cyborgs. That fight right there, that didn't even get a mention. Her, neither one of those fights got a mention. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And I would dare say that anything in um, Game of Thrones or Captain Marvel would have been easily beat by any of Alita's battles in her movie. But once again, she doesn't get mentioned, not even a um, nomination. So let's see. I think that's pretty much it for the categories where I would, yeah, vote for her movie. That's all I wanted to share. As usual, the movie gets no respect. Apparently, there's one other thing that I'm reminded of. I want to share with you. Let me pause this really quick. Now, apparently, Fox has on their official site that the digital for Alita Battle Angel, the digital release, will be on July 9th, and that the movie itself will be on Blu-ray and DVD and 4K on July 23rd. So that is a month later than what Blu-ray.com was showing. And I haven't yet been to Blu-ray.com to see if they've updated their site yet, but this appears to be official. So right now, the official date for Alita is actually a month later than it was before. So it's going to be a long wait. The only like here's the thing. Captain Marvel is released on June 11th, and the reason why that is significant is because um, I was worried with Alita being released on June 25th that it would have to compete with Captain Marvel, and I didn't want that. I don't want Alita to have to compete with that movie. Because people are just so Disney-fied, and Alita's probably going to lose that battle. So Disney and MCU fight. But moving back to July 23rd, I think, well, at least now it has some more breathing room. So it's not too close to that. But at the same time, I don't know when Endgame is going to be released on digital and Blu-ray. So there's a possibility that Endgame could end up coming up shortly behind Alita with it being released in July. And that could potentially be a problem. So hopefully, Endgame doesn't hit the stores until at least August or September. you know, that might be a little far off, but maybe at least August. Give And I mean late August too, and I mean like August 23rd or 25th or something like that. Not early August. Alita needs some time, just right now because right now it's sandwiched between Captain Marvel and Endgame. So hopefully it gets enough space to just get some sales so that we can get our at least $30 million in sales, DVD sales, which I believe is probably going to happen. And um, yeah, this movie still has to break even. So we need that to happen so that this movie could break even. So it's a shame that the movie came out a month before Captain Marvel, but it's actually going to be released on DVD a month after. But hey, good things are worth waiting for, I guess. So um, make sure you get out there and support the movie when it does come out. So that's going to be the next Alita challenge. The next Alita challenge is going to be when the Blu-ray drops. Everybody buy, if you can, at least two Blu-rays, and share one. Give one to somebody else. I plan to buy about four, maybe even five, but that's the challenge though. Is for me, if somebody has a different Alita challenge, like just I don't know how else can you do it. That's how I plan to do it. My Alita challenge is to buy at least two DVDs and share one with somebody else. So that's it for this video. Thank you all for listening.